Yeah, definitely. That might be what they're thinking about, but they're taking away the Earth Spirit. I mean, obviously there was the possibility for Complexity to run this then as a one position, and then the Earth Spirit is just a great pairing with the Darkseer. So I think it's a bit of a deny pick and something they also do enjoy running. We saw in our set, was it in the first game or the second game, the Fear Earth Spirit? But he's surely very good on this hero.
I believe that was the first game. Yeah, that was the first game for J.Storm.
5 seconds
against,
remaining.
Beast mode there. So, yeah, how about the Bane? Immediate response from Complexity. 3 for 3. Comfortable hero for him. Juggernaut eventually comes out for J.Storm with their 4th spot. So just overall looking at a well-rounded team. You know, with that core Juggernaut to assist. But, yeah, with Complexity, you would almost think that Sven is going to end up in the hands of Z-Freak instead of Miracle here. Not a hero that he is necessarily known for playing a lot of, but with Ursa ban already happening, we talked about the Morphling, are starting to go down the list of heroes that Miracle specifically is known for playing. And I think Juggernaut is definitely one of those two, in fact. So, you know, perhaps he will end up on the Sven in the end.
Yeah, this Juggernaut pick here, it lanes very well versus Darkseer. It's one of those heroes, you know, who historically, whenever there's a Darkseer, you pick a Juggernaut against it. So it's just pretty solid. But it does mean that a hero we actually haven't seen a lot of, but at least in EU and CIS, who's been very popular, is the Troll Warlord. He does very well against the Juggernaut, and he's there for you to pick up if you want for the side of Complexity.
Yeah, that probably is one of the options. Naga Siren is actually another one, more of a Miracle specialty that he's known for playing. And I guess this game, it's a little risky. You're dealing with the Magnetize, you're dealing with the Cask bouncing around, so it's not the ideal Naga Siren game for them to run, but one that's a little bit of flavor for Complexity they could potentially go with. You talk about the Drow. I mean, Drow is still there as an option as well. So maybe that's where Complexity could also look for.
Yeah, that's a really good point about the Drow Ranger. Drow does very well, but instead, because they don't have a total last pick, they just want to make sure they secure themselves the Limp TA, and TA great versus the Juggernaut. I do have to say, especially you know, before it gets into the very late game, we'll just be able to probably 2-shot the Witch Doctor and 3 or 4-shot the Juggernaut once she has that Desolator.
Yeah, they do have a couple of ways to help deal with Refraction, but certainly a strong Templar game set up for picking off the squishies, as you mentioned, and specifically against Juggernaut for sure. There's that Ember Spirit ban. You're touching on that, as we haven't really seen Ember Spirit, but again, has been banned a couple of times, and this being another one of those examples by J.Storm with the final ban. You know, they already have a Templar Assassin, but I suppose a safe lane Ember Spirit isn't out of the question either.
Yeah, we've seen this hero flip between either lane, whatever suits what team, really. I do have to say, J.Storm yesterday, at the moment, there only seems to be one major Doom target for the side of Complexity for the TA. So, you know, to possibly save the TA, it's really good to have multiple targets that require the Doom, in a sense, you know, so that even if Mu is able to get that good, successful initiation of the Doom on one of these heroes, you have someone else who is able to still wreak havoc in the fight.
Okay, so it is indeed going to be the core Sven as the last pick, a Nyx Assassin. And Nyx is very good against a couple of these heroes, such as Earthspirit, especially Doom, for example. So let's see what they're thinking there with the Nyx Assassin pick.
Yeah, Nyx, it's kind of weird because he's kind of fallen off of a hero. Like at the beginning to middle of this patch, and especially in the major, Nyx was, you know, first pick, first ban material, and I don't think he was touched much in our. Actually, he was banned versus Batrider. I take that back, but still making it through to the 5th position here in the draft, and he might be able to give some really good vision for this TA. Allow Limp's Templar Assassin, if gets off to a good start, gets that early Desmond Blink. These two working in tandem should be able to secure some very good kills.
Good synergy with the Darkseer too. You throw the Ion Shell up on Nyx Assassin, especially with Vendetta, or just even in the laning phase, could be really annoying to fight up against. So there's some good ideas there. And now J.Storm has to figure out what mid-hero makes the most sense, knowing you're going up against a Nyx Assassin and the TA matchup. It's a tough one. definitely a tough one because there's some mid heroes that might be good for some case, like an Alchemist, for example, but against a Nyx Assassin, you don't really want that. So, it really does start to limit your options because of that final pick. I always stand strong with something like a DK if things are a little bit questionable, but we'll see where they go for.
Yeah, the DK, I don't know how recently they've been playing this hero, and we are going to see the revealed hero, and it's going to be the Monkey King. That's pretty damn interesting. I don't know if this is a dominating matchup. Obviously, the thing about the TA is does not have very long range in those early levels, so is kind of a melee hero. But obviously, once you get those refraction charges, even if he does go for the boundless strike, once he gets those 4 Jingu stacks off on you, it's not going to be that impactful. So I think this might be a bit of a heavy skill-based matchup, but I think it's honestly in favor of the TA.
Yeah, well, for the laning purpose, yeah, I don't think that Monkey King pick was picked up as oh yeah, we want to dominate the mid lane. It is more of a, throughout the game, ideally, Monkey King should be good. He does have that high armor value. And against a hero like Templar Assassin, that's where it is good. He's not necessarily overly concerned about a Nyx Assassin, so I could see what they're thinking with the Monkey King pick for sure. May not have a great laning phase, but should still do solid himself, and then be pretty good throughout. So I think it makes sense as far as a pick. Now, keeping targets in place inside that Wukong's command, I do think is going to be an issue. They have some okay lockdown with the Witch Doctor and Earth Spirit, but not the greatest. And you're dealing with Sven's Warcry, you're dealing with Darkseer's Surge, ways to get out of that Wukong. So that's where the Monkey King is also maybe a little bit of a unsure about the pick. But J.Storm confident with it, and this is game 1 of this best set of 3. So now that we got a chance to feel out the drafts a little bit, any side that you seem to be favoring?
I actually think I favor Complexity here, because I think they're going to hit a very, very strong mid-game timing on the back of Limp's Templar Assassin. I mean, it's one of his best heroes. He's very much one of the best TAs in the world, in my opinion. And I think the fact that he's going to have a decent laning phase, he might even want to go for that Desolator first, just so he's able to farm that much quicker. And then once they have those items in place, I'm not quite sure if J.Storm is going to be able to fight them.
Complexity favored here. Again, yesterday's series, game 1 went to J.Storm. Complexity won the next 2. Not that that's suggesting anything in this case by any means. Completely different series, a new day, a new draft for that matter. I do like the Nyx Assassin final pick, though. I do think it's a strong Nyx Assassin game, and maybe that even threw off J.Storm a little bit, realizing that was still left open. Perhaps they were almost thinking that it was going to be a Sven core, or a Sven support even, like we were thinking about. But Complexity doing a good, strong finish there, in my opinion. So, and they doesn't seem like they maybe got enough answers to the Templar Assassin. And Limp TA, it's just one of his these player hero combinations we're so used to saying. It's definitely up there, in my opinion, to his Tiny. Tiny's, of course, his most iconic, probably.
30 seconds.
Templar Assassin, very close second, I would believe.
Yeah, and one of the things, we saw in J.Storm's first game of the day that Resolution was left totally alone. But unfortunately, I don't think Complexity are going to let him get away with it this time. They do have a spin-piercing disable in the Fiend's Grip, and they most certainly will be able to kill him even while he's spinning with the damage that comes out from Limp eventually.
Look at how deep Nyx Assassin is up here. It's almost like he was going to go behind the Tier 2 tower, but getting some information, contesting for some runes. Meanwhile, it's 3 for 3. He might be in trouble for this. He already uses Brain Sap. That Orb of Venom is doing work from Earth Spirit. However, Fear does not want to chase too much further. Still has that barrel roll on cooldown, so it's not going to do so. What would we be looking at with the bounty runes? Okay, they still haven't picked up on their side, so it is going to be a 2 for 2. Is how the bounty runes play out, and we already see some shifting happening. Resolution, he's making his way now down to the bottom lane, realizing that it's a Darkseer Nyx Assassin top, so perhaps they assume that those were going to go bottom for some shifting. They want to send Juggernaut bottom, though. Avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious about what lane they were expecting because, you know, when you see this Darkseer Nyx Assassin, they want to be in this off lane because, you know, I talked about how you don't really want to be running your Darkseer in your safe lane because he's not able to do these easy pulls and mess with the creepy equilibrium. So I'm not sure what the side of J.Storm expected, but they most certainly do want to be running this tri lane against Miracle. And Vayne over here, 3-4-3, might be in trouble.
Well, it's actually a good stun from Miracle to not give them a chance at that kill, because without that Stormhammer stun, Resolution may get close enough for a spin, and that probably would be the end of Bane, but because the Stormhammer hits, never really got the opportunity. But yeah, Bane especially will need to be very careful into that tri-lane as far as stepping up. Usually he's pretty good at trading, but against two supports and a spinning Juggernaut, different story. So he is going to keep his distance for now, but I keep glimpsing back at the top lane, and no surprise, cut in the creep waves. Darkseer and Nyx Assassin doing their thing, and they're going to run at Moo now. Moo sitting on his level 2, waiting for, yeah, he's going to get Scorched Earth eventually. He's waiting to see what he needed. Definitely Scorched Earth in this case, and so Nyx Assassin does have Spiked Carapace. Not going to use it at that moment, but Doom going to sit under the tower and last hit the best that he can.
Yeah, he should have a fairly okay time here. I mean, he has the Devour. He's now going to look towards this big camp. Not exactly the creep he wants, but, you know, you'll take it anyway. You'll take anything you can get. But I'm not sure how much kill potential they have on this man because, you know, level 2 Devour, that's already a lot of regen with the 2 stacks on it.
Miracle will take some right clicks.
Actually, just as I say that about Moo, you know, they've already forced out his Scorched Earth, but he's able to make it safely back to his tower.
Yeah, he's fine. The Scorched Earth coming off cooldown in a couple seconds. We did see 3-4-3 was able to... Okay, it's just a sentry ward. I think it might have been blocking this camp, though. That's why. He destroyed it, so going to try to get some pulls coming out. We'll see if they block with their body or not. As bottom lane, Miracle spins on top. It's a level 1 Maledict, but it's going to be more than enough, it looks like. Stick is not enough to save Sven. That's 300 gold going the way of Resolution for what's the first blood. 3-4-3, rotating middle lane, getting there just a little bit too late. And he also just hit level 2. Supporting the Templar, though. I think that's more of a... Bane's not accomplishing a whole lot bottom lane, so just trying to be useful elsewhere.
Yeah, because as you say, Limp actually needing the support in the mid lane, you know, with only 1 point in the side blades, he's been able to zone out really successfully by this Monkey King.
That was all Nyx Assassin top lane, really. Well, not all. Of course, the damage from the Iron Shell is a big part of it, but that Spiked Carapace, that's why it's so good against Doom. Not only that Scorched Earth, but the Inferno Blade Dot as well.
In the bottom lane again, Miracle, he might be in trouble.
He is. No support. I mean, you can't expect him to live here, honestly, with no support. They could just dive in like that every time.
Yeah, J.Storm, they're now showing why they wanted to run this tri-lane. They really want to set down the carry of complexity. They realized, you know, in the last games that they lost against complexity, Miracle was really enabled, and they're just running this full-on tri-lane into him, and there's nothing they can do about it.
So now Nyx Assassin is down here. Sven making the long journey back. Invisarin picked up by 3-4-3. He was spotted doing so by this ward right here, but where he's going, they don't know for sure. As he is going to make his way bottom lane. You have Earth Spirit setting up on mid, but something tells me, well, they don't have vision in that area, so they might not have seen him rotate. Back to the bottom.
Limp's pretty far forward now.
Witch Doctor, he's caught. There's a stun combo on that. Kind of shows you, with the supports of Bane and Nyx Assassin, they can definitely make some plays. Middle lane, Templar Assassin, she'll be fine. Jingu stacks not adding up enough. So Earth Spirit trying, but unable to get a response there.
Yeah, Limp was very lucky. Had the refraction up when the Jingu Boundless Strike came out. So he didn't take that massive influx of damage, which is why he was able to survive.
5-minute bounty rune. Z-Freak's trying to set up already, but realizing Hero's in the area, so will he even be able to get his own? Yeah, he wants to. The Spiked Carapace, it's not going to allow him to do so. Resolution picks it up, and now Z-Freak might be in trouble. Going to cut through the trees. That spin of Resolution on top, though. The War Cry, the Maledict Tick. He pops a stick, and the Maledict Tick is going to kill him. Yep, the last tick. Just enough damage. Is that a level 1 still? It is level 2 now, so that makes
level
more
2.
sense. Okay. Level 2.
Yeah, but still, J.Storm, this tri-lane, it's going absolutely wonderful for them. They've managed to massively shut down this Sven's farm, and you know, you can see that he's had to put 2 points into the Stormhammer as well as the point into the Warcry. And when you're a safe lane Sven, obviously, you know, you do want a value point in each of these so you're able to get a kill. But you want those points in the Great Cleave so that you're able to retreat to jungle and farm. But just because he's been trying to be that little bit more survivable and help out the rest of his team, but it hasn't actually worked out here.
Support setting up on either side. In fact, Monkey King, Nyx Assassin's coming in. He pops a boundless strike, though, with the full Jingu, so he heals right on up. Limp, going to be gone on. Refraction, 5 more seconds. He is in a bad spot with a kickback. He almost gets body blocked there somewhat, but now Refraction comes out, and now Fear, he's the one in trouble. Does not have another cooldown for the roll. They let Limp get credit for the kill. Yeah, Brawl just simply wasn't really ready. He had already used his boundless strike, so it seemed like almost a miscue there, as Brawl wasn't as committed as Fear was.
Yeah, I mean, Fear did everything he could to kill Limp. Even got the pushback on the tower quite nicely. But as you say, a little bit of a miscommunication there. And now Limp, he's managed to hit his level 6 before Brile has. And the one thing I do have to say is whenever you're laning against a TA in the mid lane, you really need a sentry for yourself just for these traps once you hit 6. And Limp's done a very good job of, as soon as he hits 6, gets down his own sentry. So he's able to take full control here.
There's a sentry placed down by Brile, so Limp sentry is out of range of that one, so Brile does have information at least where this trap is. They'll want to take care of that eventually. But for now, having to stay safe. He is rocking towards the bottom lane, so I don't know if he's going to try to make a play down here or not. Seems like that could be the case. There is an illusion of Bane that actually sees him jumping over here, so they know Monkey King's coming. Yeah, Complexity's just completely retreating. They're not going to give them a chance. Top lane, Doom, by the way, they dive him in the meantime. It's 2 versus 1. Moo running around, trying to get away. He's going to Doom up Darkseer, actually. Go for a turn kill here. Says, if you're killing me, I'm taking you with me. He might not even go down, in fact. What a man up there from Moo. It works out pretty well. The double bracer, I suppose, makes him pretty strong. Yeah,
the double brace, and especially with the 4 points in Devour, as well as his Tango, he has 30 points of regen, but Miracle's rotating in here, so they might be able to find it. Another nice, great War Stomp by Moo, and now they're under the tower, and there's March with his stun and level 2 Maledict if he's able to find anyone.
Z-Freak. Okay, he has a TP. He might use it here. Fear cuts him off, and now it's Sven, the one that's in trouble. Miracle trying to run away. He avoids the barrel roll, and Maledict, it's not going to kill him. He has one more tick. If they get an auto attack, maybe. So there's the last tick. Do they need the auto attack still? Can they find him? He's cutting through the trees. What juking from Miracle? He's going to be fine for now. Puts a stun out. Doesn't have a TP, though, so he's running for a lost cause, it feels like. But, boy, is this interesting. Here comes a double impale stun. Topple's here as well on the Darkseer, and he actually gets out. Are you kidding me? Fear, no, that's March, excuse me, goes down a response, but the jukes from Miracle. Holy crap, that was insane.
That was amazing. He just kept them busy. I think that was for a literal full minute. 3 heroes of J.Storm looking for this Sven on such little HP in the trees. And he buys enough time for the Doom to wear off Tavo. I don't know if he went full back to base or back to the shrine. And they're able to turn it around. You know, massive props to Miracle. You know, he was our MVP on the Ursa from the other day. And he's having a bit of a rough time here. But most certainly he can definitely spam the space created right there.
Oh, absolutely. Deserves that one. As Doom finds a couple of friends in the jungle again, but eventually gets back to his tower, and they've already tried once before, so they understand how Doom is a very tough kill right now as level 4 Devour, the double bracers we mentioned, so can't commit nearly as hard to make that kill happen. But Brile, it seems like he's been spending a lot of time sitting at this bottom lane. I guess he's been farming in. They are going to get the tier 1 tower. So he's essentially shifted to more of the bottom lane. Witch Doctor just trying to soak up mid lane experience, but Templar Assassin, not much to fear in the mid lane currently. Her net worth, though, is struggling a little bit, but man, look at this stack to her left. She's going to stack it again, I believe. That's going to be some juicy farm for Templar Assassin. Hopefully it's not found by J.Storm first.
Yeah, you know, Brile, he did go bottom just to secure this tower over here. Sitting in the trees, you can obviously see if anyone's going to TP in. But, you know, all the time Brile spent bottom, it's allowed Limp to be able to get back into the game. And it looks like this game, Limp, he wants to be fighting very early with this early Blink Dagger to see if this is going to pay off. And oh, look at these Ancients just fall. That's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, that always feels good. So I don't think he got another stack off. He tried, but I think it was just too bulky. So he is able to farm up that massive stack, though, and Suddenly that net worth a bit higher. You mentioned the Blink Dagger he's trying to get. But Juggernaut quietly doing his thing. Resolution not going the Battle Fury route, though. He is going right into the Manta style. As the Yasha being flown out in full to him. Or to be completed, at least. Tavo, though, he continues to be the top farmer on the side of Complexity. As what's down here?
I was actually going to talk about Tavo's itemization because more often you see these offlane Darkseers, they get the Helm of the Dominator and they just roll around with that creep while Z3, like Carapace, it's not going to save him from the Omni Slash.
Oh, the sleep. The Nightmare saves him initially, but Z-Freak, he's going to die in the end. Resolution with a spin, enough damage to take him out. 3-4-3 now being ran after. Bryle, Pogo Stick. Oh, the Fiend's Grip as he leaped away. He's in the trees. He's still hitting with the Fiend's Grip. It's not going to be stopped, but the damage follow-up is not there, so a close call. But luckily for Monkey King, he is able to make it away. Fear, kick back on Tavo. Now he's in a pretty bad spot himself, though. Does he have another roll? He sure does, and Tavo cannot get in front. But he still has that Surge active and getting pretty close. Of course, no vacuum, though. So Fear is still going. There's another Surge. 2 more seconds. I don't think he's going to get away from this one, though. Oh, nice kickback. Allows him to roll, but the tower able to finish the job. So, yeah, that all started with Nyx Assassin, use of Vendetta. He saw Juggernaut. Juggernaut got the Yasha right as the Courier died. So, but there was a Drums recipe, I believe, for Doom on the Courier, so still worthwhile Courier kill for sure. But that's how that whole fight started breaking out down there.
Yeah, 3-4-3, really good grip there, getting the monkey just as he leaps to the tree. But unfortunately, there wasn't anyone to do damage while he was on the tree. And Fear, he rolls in to save the life of his monkey and drags them all across the map. So, some positives for each side there, but definitely the Courier kill, very valuable. But I just want to go back to what Tavo is building. And, he's getting this very, very fast Crimson Guard. And that's such a good item versus both the Juggernaut as well as the Monkey King. So I really like the fact that they're going to have a very early one here for the side of Complexity.
Yeah, high priority makes a lot of sense. Speaking of that, the Blink Dagger for Templar Assassin has now been purchased. So Limp, going to fly that one out. Right now, though, the net worth for J.Storm, overall 1,000 net worth lead. And, speaking of Tavo, I guess he's fine. Is the cast going to bounce around? Even Maledic coming out. March wants this kill. Resolution wasn't really going for it, but March is like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. It's not going to happen, though. Maledic will stick him down a little bit more. He's even got 1 charges just in case, so he's going to be fine now.
Limp has the Blink Dagger now.
Yeah, we mentioned that Moo is trying to run away. He went too deep for this, and speaking of that Blink, Limp able to get in good position for the auto attacks, and Doom falls. Juggernaut, Nightmared up. Going to be ending in a second. Doesn't have Omni Slash for 5 more seconds. Trying to run away, avoids the wall. Over here, Browse on the trees. March, that damage from Templar Assassin.
Did you see that? The cask bounce was so lucky. And, on the other side, they found Resolution.
Resolution goes down. Just, I guess, that was the Iron Shell. The Iron Shell must have killed him way off to the right. Okay. From Nyx Assassin, I was watching TA finish off Witch Doctor, so, but the cask bounces, like you said. Not enough in the end.
Yeah, that first hit from Limp took the Witch Doctor almost all of his health, and then he got that lucky cast bounce, but Limp, able to slow him down, and that is exactly the reveal of the Blink Dagger you want. Able to get 3 big kills. We saw why the Nyx Assassin is so good versus the Doom. Set up that easy stun on him, and now Complexity, they're pretty much on a roll.
1,300 gold already saved up for Limp. We know that Desolator's coming, and we talk about high armor on a hero like Monkey King, and the Desolator, of course, naturally to help against that. Also Juggernaut, what he's dealing with, so that on top of just building hitting as well, which the objective hitting, that is a weak spot for Complexity. Of course, Deso, once again, on TA will help, and that makes it that much more priority, I would think, but they are trying to make a play mid lane as Nyx Assassin is wrapping around with this Vendetta. They know he's over here. How about that? They pretty much were pinging exactly where he was. He is going to get the turn kill on a Witch Doctor as soon as he gets spotted, but Z-Freak, it's all for a lost cause. There's no chance of him getting out.
Yeah, as you say, he walked through this ward bank, so they knew what he was up to. But when they see you coming and you still get a kill, I think you feel pretty great about that on your Nyx Assassin. And 4 bounty runes actually. Is that all 4? Yeah, it's all 4 for the side of Complexity. And now their lead is up to 3K. And Miracle, he's got himself a Midas. This man, he was having such a rough time in that tri lane. Already died 2 times. Twice, but he has so much farm acceleration with the Hand of Midas, with the Greater Cleave, and Resolution. He's not going for the Battle Fury this game, so he doesn't have the same kind of scalability that we saw from his earlier Juggernaut performance.
Yeah, and I feel like I just said it's 1,000 net worth lead for J.Storm, and now looking up at it, Complexity overall, 3,000 net worth lead themselves. So 4K gold swing right there, favoring Complexity. And talk about the Midas on Sven. He really is a Midas fanboy, it feels like. Knows most certainly an accelerant, and he also is just about to finish an Echo Saber. He's got the Oblivion Staff. Another smoke broken by Nyx Assassin. Or that was actually Darks here in the area. I guess Nyx is also over here, but you saw one earlier. March, uh-oh, he's going to get caught by Nyx Assassin. Again, with that Ion Shell, the synergy is just a real move. Meanwhile, he stopped his auto attack, so the Spiked Carapace is not going to hit him. It's up in 5 more seconds, though. There's a Stomp from move. He's going to doom up Templar Assassin. Refraction's up anyways. She runs away to the right-hand side. She needs protection. Gets in. Crimson Guard applied as well. Doom, he's stunned in place with the Scorched Earth with the Spiked Carapace, and down goes Doom. Brown, can he make his way out now? He's just going to run for the time being. That Doom's going to wear off in a second for Templar Assassin. Now the Refraction comes up, and they are going to catch up to Brile, it looks like. There is the meld. And there's the huge auto attack. Mega kill streaks, 50 of them for Limp, apparently. That's a nice achievement.
Yeah, in that fight, I don't know if you noticed, when the Monkey King came in on the back line, he was a second away. He started chanting his Wukong, but the really nice sleep by 343, it just meant the Monkey King wasn't able to turn around that fight at all. And Limp just more than happy to fight through the Doom as well, you know? This TA is the prime Doom target, but you know, if you're not able to put any damage into her, then she's more than happy to fight you through it.
Sleep on to Witch Doctor as he takes it actually from her Spirit, but not able to get the catch. And they were trying to get Templar Assassin. You see how low she is. Manages to survive, though, off to continue her farm, and which, by the way, is basically has a Desolator finish. Just needs a couple more creep kills, and that second Mithril Hammer's coming. So Templar Assassin, we saw that stack that she did of the Ancients, and that's really where the swing started to happen, because once that, she was 4th or 5th, I want to say, in net worth at that point, and here we are 5 minutes later. Now she's topping the game. And I go back to the Juggernaut choosing not to get the Battle Fury. And again, we just saw Resolution earlier today. I know there's different games, different circumstances, but he went the full Manta instead for his high priority there. As again, Z-Freak just finds these solo kills on Witch Doctor. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, this Iron Shell Nyx Assassin combination, it's really quite insane. It's such a good combination, and lots of people, you know, you say this Blink Dagger early on the TA is a risky item because, you know, if you don't get any kills, you're going to fall off, but Limp most certainly has been able to get those kills.
Our Spirit's rolling away. Double damage rune going to be picked up by Fear. It's really a takeaway, of course. Does not want to let the Radiant team pick it up. 5 sentries now on Witch Doctor. March, you can tell he's pissed off about this Nyx Assassin. He places one right there even. So really wants to make sure that they have that detection for the Nyx specifically. But so I go back to the as they're doing Roshan. Yeah, this is an easy Roshan kill. The Juggernaut point, is that kind of just a hindsight easy thing to say, you think, or did he overlook what he's up against? Because the scalability, go back to, it's not going to be as extreme.
So he definitely doesn't have the scalability, but you know, we discussed that the Complexity lineup is they're going to hit a very strong mid game, and I think Resolution's idea was he wants to be able to fight at that mid game timing, and if he had gone for the Battle Fury, you know, he wouldn't be able to fight at all at that point. He would have to farm and leave the rest of his team alone, and they would be, you know, just food. So I think just the idea is he wanted to be able to fight.
TA is dead. That's an Aegis use. Nyx Assassin could not stun to protect in time, so they do get the Aegis burnt right away. Pretty early even. That's a good find for J.Storm. Still looking at an 8,000 net worth lead that continues to accelerate like crazy for the Radiant team, but that shows you that they do have that pick-off potential. Level 4 Maledict, the Death Ward assisting there.
Radiant's bottom tower
certainly can fight, but bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, no, Sven's fine.
The major thing about getting that easy TA kill where they look to fight actually round their stride. Oh, nice vacuum wall there by Tavo.
Yeah, big vacuum wall indeed. A lot of the illusions slowing them down and everything. Tavo, so Boise tanky. He's going to be doomed up. He's already played his combo out, though, trying to get kills with the illusions, so he is going to fall. So good fight for J.Storm really there as the Bounding Runes spawn. And Z-Freak is just going to stick around in the back line, so wasn't maybe as huge of a fight as we were expecting.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know, when you're able to get that Aegis kill on the TA and you haven't had to expend either one of your long ultimates of either the Omni Slash or the Doom, then you're really happy with how the pickoffs go if you're able to get kills without using them. And the side of complexity, it looks like they were trying to get a kill here just to be able to control the bounty runes at the 20-minute timings. We've seen they very often do fight around these 5-minute timings, but nice response there by the side of J.Storm, not allowing complexity to continue their snowball, and having lost that Aegis on Limp, it is setting their timing back a bit because I think they would have wanted to take tier 2 towers.
Z-Freak has taken J.Storm for a walk over here. It's ultimately going to get him killed, but man, is he making this difficult. He's got another shot in 6 seconds. Yeah, it's not, he's got a wand. I mean, he could 20 charge wand. He could have even delayed it further, but of course he already wasted plenty of time. So worth dying right there in the end. But chase is real from J.Storm. Did not want to give up, understandably. Yeah, Darkseer still pushing in the top lane, and he is going to go back now for the Guardian Greaves, which is looking pretty good. But yeah, Tavo, he was top in farm even for a while in the early game. He's now 3rd on his team, and that's really good news for Complexity because mainly Sven has stepped up a lot, and naturally Hand of Mind is helping with that with the Echo Saber. He's got a Blink now, and now he's building into a BKB. So this is all of a sudden going to look like a pretty scary Sven in these next couple of minutes.
Yeah, Tavo being 3rd isn't because Tavo has fallen off. It's because Miracle and Limp have been able to accelerate. So it's definitely a bright side for the side of Complexity. One thing I do want to say is Bryle here on his Monkey King, I feel like he hasn't been able to get that involved, at 0, 1, 2. You want to have at least 1 kill actually on your Monkey King. But he is going for making his Wukong's command do a bunch of damage with this Maelstrom, and I quite like that because it just gives you even more chances to break the refraction charges.
Picking up some farm in the jungle as Witch Doctor's nearby, destroying some traps. Spirit Vessel being worked on by Earth Spirit. Trying to look in general, is this really a huge Spirit Vessel game? I mean, it is really good, fraction, etc. It's always a good item to have. It's not necessarily countering a heavy heal like from an Alchemist or Necropulse or anything, but still pretty good value.
You will have the Guardian Greaves coming out from Tavo, so you'll be negating that at least. And I think I can't think of any other item that's like big priority on the Earth Spirit. They love this Spirit Vessel because it also makes them that deceptively a bit more tanky, and then you have real trouble killing these Earth Spirits.
Yeah. Bottom lane completely ignored right now by both teams, so almost telling of maybe something's going on. In fact, smoke play from J.Storm. Trying to wrap around and catch somebody. Tavo and Z-Freak still up here. Continue to push it in. The Iron Shell applied to Nyx Assassin. Early with him, Vendetta. They are going to spot Limp, but she blinks away before they can catch. They dust it as well in case it was Nyx Assassin, but I guess also pretty good against TA, of course, too. But yeah, could not find an opportunity.
Yeah, Limp just having the vision of his own trap. The nice defensive trap saves his life there. He breaks the smoke and the quick reactions there. But the smoke, it's allowed them to get into position to at least pressure this tower. But Complexity, they don't want to let them have this.
Yeah, they do not. They smoke up themselves. They go in the burst down on Witch Doctor. He's out of the fight. Wukong's just slowing down as well, though, but they're spreading out from it. It's Complexity. The vacuum comes in. No wall just yet. Finally placed down. They have to run through it if they want to get out of here. Omni Slash does get the kill on Darkseer, though. Still bouncing around a lot on a Sven, who is just fine. Now, Juggernaut wants to run. Moo, he goes to the south. He's going to be the one that they focus on his Complexity. You just see with those huge crits of Templar Assassin, Limp is indeed wicked sick. Resolution continues to go to the right now. March is caught up too from Miracle, and he ends up falling. So a couple of kills in play there for Complexity. That was a dieback, wasn't it?
It was a buyback from the Witch Doctor. They burst him. He was the one they focused, and really lucky for them is when they were focusing the Witch Doctor, they actually weren't inside the Wukong's command. They started the fight in the side of it, and then they just never entered it. So, you pick up this big item with the Maelstrom here on the Monkey King, and it just feels so ineffective.
Top lane, Sven jumps Monkey King. Tried to do a mischief there, but didn't work. However, just by himself is Sven, and he has God Strength, but of course choosing not to use it there. So Monkey King's going to be fine. Clearly a good objective taken from Complexity, though. They get the tier 2 mid-tower after all that resolution. Fiend's Grip, he got the spin off. Doom is up on TA, though. The support's already here. Templar Assassin getting too committed to try to make this kill happen. 25-minute bounty rune spawn, so that's why they're in the area, probably. But they end up losing both of their lives for Complexity, so great response there from J.Storm. Doom and Earth Spirit happen to be in the right place in the right time.
Yeah, I mean, J.Storm, it was a really great play by them. They have this ward up here, so they knew that there wasn't anyone else other than the TA as well as the Bane. And, you know, they thought they could get aggressive. They thought it was the Juggernaut by himself. But the Monkey King, a really nice boundless strike onto two of them, cancelling that Fiend's grip. So Limp just not able to output enough damage, and they get the 2 big kills there. And, by the way, Limp, I don't know if you've noticed, but he now has his 10-second BKB.
Okay. Yeah, he had it there, but, again, he was doomed up, so... Not much you can do about that. The tier 1 tower mid, again, Complexity wants to defend this. They're in the area. They do lose a tower. Vacuum wall combo comes out. Spin from Juggernaut. Moo, he pops BKB as well. He throws out a stomp. Sven stunned in place, but they catch up to Monkey King in the midst of that, and he ends up going down. Nightmare on a Witch Doctor. A couple of auto attacks later, and he'll fall. So 2 are dead so far for J.Storm. Will it be at least a third? Fear running away. Moo trying to get away from Templar Assassin. It is just TA in pursuit. They do catch up to the Ear Spirit, though, so now we're watching Moo. Those crits from the meld auto attack. The last one not in time. And the TP from Moo is successful, but 3 kills for Complexity. And now they're going to push the tier 1 bottom lane as a result of all of it. Yeah,
as Fear was trying to get away, it was a really nice Yules here from the Nyx Assassin of Z-Freak. It meant that rolling boulder didn't save him. And also, the Witch Doctor, it looked like he was getting off a decent channel, but they just sleep him up with the Nightmare, and because Sven has his own BKB on Miracle, he doesn't mind hitting into the Nightmare, so Witch Doctor, I think it was 3 hits he just dropped in. It was so much damage. But I do want to highlight Doom. He has a casual plate mail, and that's what saved his life there over on Moo.
Yeah, that's a good point. If without that, he likely does die, actually. See those auto attacks from Templar Assassin. So casual plate mill, the eventual Shivas, I'm sure, to come, but he wants to get a Blink Dagger first. Be able to get that jump in and apply Doom to... really, Darkseer, I'm sure, is his big target. If he can get it on Darkseer before these vacuum walls, then that's a good way to start a fight for J.Storm, but a lot easier said than done.
Yeah. But, you know, if you kill Tavo, I don't think you're killing him. Obviously, you do want to, you know, stop him getting off those big vacuum walls, but the Guardian Greaves are such a good item versus the Doom, because once you get to that low health, you get the extra sustain while a big fight is erupting here.
It's a vacuum wall, the Wukong's goes down, but it doesn't seem like Complexity cares. They lost Bane off the bat. They do lose TA, actually. She was caught a little bit too far to the right. Fighting up against Brile and Moo. Resolution, Omni-Slash bouncing around. There's a lot of creeps that's hitting, though. Miracle, he's still manning up with that God Strength. He does plenty of damage himself. The Stormhammer connects on a Resolution. He has to run through the wall to get away. He can't even move, though. The stun lasts too long, and he falls. Nyx Assassin ends up going down to Moo, but now Moo, is he overstepped? They do have a buyback on Juggernaut. In fact, he is going to use it with the Shrine TP. Go for a turn play here. Monkey King is getting too low to the vacuum at the last second, and Brile will go down, but at what cost now? Resolution spinning on top. Miracle search away, though. He's just going to get the hell out of there, realizing how low that he is. Tavo, will it be the same for him? He pops Guardian Greaves. He's going to make them chase at least. Surge is ready. He also has Crimson Guard. I think he should be fine, honestly. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to pursue him much further. Witch Doctor coming in. Can't really cut him off. Oh, different story with Fear, though. The silence, he could not kick him back initially, but it will be in time. The War Cry, the Crimson Guard is just not tanky enough. So they finally do catch up with the supporting cast coming in. So very back and forth fight. I mean, Gold Swing does favor J.Storm after all of that. It was a buyback on Resolution, remember.
Yeah, I mean, it favors Complexity, obviously, in the long run, because they kill off Brile as well as the Juggernaut, forcing his buyback. But that fight, you know, it started off pretty decently for J.Storm. Great Wukong's command, eliminating the Limp TA very early on with the help of the Doom. But just this Darkseer, I don't know if you had a look at the death summary of the Monkey King, but actually the most damage took was from the illusion of the Juggernaut that they created with the help of Tavo's wall. So
yeah.
A great play all about, but the fact just identifying that they could kill off this Monkey King with just all the damage they were able to do, and now they have the second Aegis of the game.
Yeah, I missed that on camera, apologies there, but Doom gets picked off as a double damage rune, which was there at the end of the last fight, I noticed, but J.Storm did not happen to spot it. And Complexity comes back, Sven picks it up, and they destroy Doom with it. So not only that, but it leads naturally into a Roshan kill. And now you have the Aegis on Templar Assassin, who, by the way, has a Chrysalis, working on the full data list there. And then you have Sven picking up the cheese as well. So more objective focus from Complexity as the 30-minute bounty runes are coming in.
Resolution, they've caught him with the Impale.
Is it enough damage?
They know he doesn't have buyback.
It is, and yeah, that's a dieback, 90+ seconds. This should be a push of sorts. Now, all the lanes, I guess the top lane's kind of pushing their favor, but that's all the way over there. So that might be the saving grace for J.Storm right now.
I mean, it's 80 seconds, and Limp is right here clearing up this mid lane. So, J.Storm, you can instantly see both Fear as well as Brile. They go to push in the other lanes because they know exactly what's coming down mid.
And is there really much they're going to be able to do to stop this? I mean, do they even try to fight this? Like, do they just give up the one set of racks, I suppose?
I mean, you have your big ultimate, but I don't think without resolution you can win the fight. Because, you know, you doom one or the other, you know, and then Limp's going to has the Aegis anyway, you don't want to be dooming him. You doom Tavo and, you know, the rest of the team are going to kill you. So I think you're pretty right. You know, you just sacrifice this mid lane of Barracks.
Earth Spirit doesn't even have a TP, so he's just running back, but it's at least the one racks. Of course, Complexity's not going to stop. In fact, TA's going in. He's got 2 shots, the Witch Doctor. And Witch Doctor's staying dead. So top lane, again, same story though. They really just can't fight. So that dieback on Juggernaut is really going to result in 2 racks as well, favoring Complexity at this rate. They do have a BKB purchase on Monkey King, so he doesn't have buyback himself, but got to kind of be all in right here with the circumstances. Earth Spirit is behind. Can they maybe catch them retreating? Not going for it yet, at least.
It was just great identification by Complexity. You know, Z-Freak, he's doing the scouting, and they get the vision of the Juggernaut, and then they just commit absolutely everything. You know, they're not playing safe about it. They commit Gold Strike, they commit BKBs, they commit the wall, because they know as soon as this resolution Juggernaut's dead, there's nothing that stops them going high ground. And now with 2 lanes of Barracks advantage, it feels like Complexity firmly in the driver's seat here, and we have to be brainstorming about what can J.Storm do to come back in this one.
What can they do? It's yeah. Doom getting the Shivas is certainly a start, and man, really Monkey King. The impact of Monkey King has basically been non-existent. So maybe it starts there, I suppose. And again, having the BKB is good, but it does bring up one of the issues that I had once again with the draft and the Monkey King pick is keeping people inside the Wukongs. Complexity's just been able to lead these Wukong's commands pretty easily for the most part. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why Monkey King feels like he's had so little impact this game. So, unfortunately, I don't know if they really can address that now with that. I guess the Shivas kind of could help there with the massive slow, but that's really it.
Yeah, and Limp is just hitting into these tier 4s, and J.Storm, this is their time. You have to do something about this. You can't just let your throne go down, and once again, they might have found resolution. Well,
the forces out of Wukong's command, which is actually a decent placement. Doom, he gets a Doom up on his spin off to the left-hand side. Templar Assassin. That's Darkseer, excuse me, in the midst of it. The Crimson Guard going to be popped. Omnislash bouncing around on top of a Nightmare target, but Bane eventually does go down. He is staying dead. Resolution. He comes out from the Omnislash, got the backup, slowed down by the Templar trap, though. Limp going in for the kill. They lost Tavo, but Resolution, can he make it out? Once again, it would be another dieback spin. He's beating down Earthspirit. Meanwhile, Resolution just alive. The healing ward going to help keep it up. He's TPing out. That's not going to work. Sven cuts him off and cuts him down. Triple kill for Miracle, and he's going right for the tier 4 tower. Buyback on Earthspirit and Witch Doctor. I don't know if it's going to matter, though. They have a no Wukong's command Monkey King and an Earthspirit and a Witch Doctor. That's it. Well, they had a Witch Doctor, I should say, because that's an ultra kill for Sven now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Brile managed to save resolution there with that really nice stuff from the trees, but Z-Freak as well as with this Quelling Blades, they're just wreaking havoc. They can't win fights anymore for the side of J.Storm. They don't even manage to get this Aegis, and Miracle, you know, he was doomed up but wasn't afraid enough to just stand by the side, ready to reinitiate as soon as it ended, and really well played by Complexity there.
Yeah, that was impressive play, and again, continuing on with, at least in the later part of the series, the game 2 and 3 of yesterday, this Complexity team is looking like things are just working together. I got to say, Tavo, we knew that this guy was always been a great player from the South American region, but he's honestly fitting in very well with this team. It is impressive, and again, I watch Complexity quite a bit. I know I'm a bit of a fanboy of this squad for the longest time, but I am impressed with their play right now, and this looks like a team to beat to qualify for the minor. And right now, they are 1 win away from doing so against J.Storm here.
Yeah, I honestly feel what went wrong for J.Storm is Brile's Monkey King. It felt like his impact was so little. You can see he's the only one on his team with 0 kills. And, you know, he was doing well in the mid lane. He was matching up well against Limp's TA. But he goes for this rotation bottom. It nets them absolutely 0 kills. He spends way too long there. And it just felt like all the tempo came wasn't there in the game for the side of J.Storm, because they have a very tempo-based lineup with this Monkey King Resolution. He hasn't gone for the very hard scaling build. He's gone for the fighting build with Manta style, and they're not winning these fights because Limps TA was left alone to recover in the mid lane with those stacks, and as soon as they got that blink on Temporal Assassin, Complexity are winning fights and winning the game.
Game 2 is upon us. We're going to go to a short break as always, but game number 1 in the books, and Complexity takes it. It's a best out of 3, so they are 1 win away from claiming a spot to the minor. J.Storm has other plans, though. They would love to at least force a game number 3 at this point. Well, we're going to find out next. Big shout out to DX Racer as well. Awesome chairs, gaming chairs that they make, sponsoring and supporting this event. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Hasbaz. Game number 2 coming up. We'll be right back.